Hello everyone, this is Mr. Allen. Today is May the 7th and we are going over ecosystems, identifying ecosystems. Now most of them seem very straightforward, but there are a few that not only we not have never gone over, but they are not too familiar with our ecosystem here in Florida. So I wanted to go over them a little bit with you and just see go over very specific terminologies to identify them, specific definitions to identify them. So let's get started. Okay, so the first one I want to go over is tundra. Now, a tundra is a long, cold winter and short, cold summers. I'm not sorry. It's a tundra has long, cold winters and short, cold summers. It's mostly small plants in a tundra, but the key information here is that the soil is frozen year-round. So whenever you hear a tundra, this is an image below, but whenever you hear tundra, what do you think of? Soil that's frozen year-round. So tundra, very cool. It has long, cold winters, short summers that are also cold, and it's mostly small plants, not that many trees and then the soil is frozen year-round. Now, a prairie grassland. Now, grassland meaning not that many trees. It has hot summers. The winters are cool. It's a medium amount of rain, not that much, not too little, and that the soil is rich with nutrients. So yeah, when you think of low grassland and just a lot of nutrition for herbivores, rich with nutrition. A taiga, I believe I'm pronouncing it right. Taiga is a type of ecosystem. It has long, cold winters and short, cool summers. Summers aren't hot, they're cool. Has many evergreen trees and the soil that is pure in nutrition. So I want you to know the difference between the taiga and let's say the tropical rainforest. It has many evergreen trees in there. So taiga, many green trees. I'm going to be going over questions below, so if you need to write this down, I highly recommend writing it down, pausing it, and then moving forward. Now, yeah, many evergreen trees and the soil is poor in nutrients. Not that rich soil. A hot desert. Actually, a hot desert and a cold desert. A hot desert has a small amount of rain. It's dry. The soil is very thin, and it has many different types of organisms. The key I want you to take about is that very small amount of rain, and it's dry and thin soil. With the hot desert, a tropical rainforest. Tropical rainforest has year-round rain and warm temperatures. The soil is poor in nutrients, but it has many different types of organisms. A tropical rainforest has many different types of organisms, and it has year-round rain and warm temperatures. Now, a temperate deciduous forest. Now, it's warm, wet summers, and it has cold, wet winters. The soil is rich in nutrients, but it only has a few types of trees. So the temperate deciduous forest, the key difference, it only has a few types of trees, where the forest has many different types of organisms. Now, temperate deciduous forest, warm, wet summers, cold, wet winters, and the soil is rich in nutrients and only a few types of trees. This is another example. And then a cold desert. So a small amount of rain or snow, that's the definition of a desert, but this one has long, cold winters and dry, thin soil. So cold desert and hot desert, they both have a small amount of rain and dry, thin soil, but the cold desert is long, cold winters, while hot desert is not cold. All right, so I'm gonna go over about 4 or 5 questions with you where I want to break down where am I? So I have long cold winters and short cold summers. mostly soil, mostly small plants, but the soil is frozen year round. Where would the soil be frozen year round? Would it be a hot desert, a cold desert, or a tundra? It would be C, tundra. Tundras are, the soil is frozen year round. I want you to take that away from the tundra. Number 2, where am I? A small amount of rain or snow has dry, thin soil and long, cold winters. It has a small amount of rain or snow, dry, thin soil, and long, cold winters. Would that be a cold desert, a hot desert, or a temperate deciduous forest? It would be a cold desert. It has a small amount of rain that makes it a desert, and then the dry, thin soil. But then this has long, cold winters. So when it's a cold desert and not a hot desert. What about number 3? Where am I? I have long, cold winters and short, cold summers, many evergreen trees, and then the soil that is pure in nutrients. Many evergreen trees and soil that is pure in nutrients. Where am I? Am I at prairie grassland, a taiga, or a tropical rainforest? So we know that it can't be a prairie grassland because it has trees, and then it says it has many evergreen trees and soil that is pure in nutrients. The tropical rainforest wouldn't be that. It'd have to be a taiga because of the evergreen trees. The specific evergreen trees make it a taiga. All right, number 4. Warm, wet summers and cold, wet winters. Soil that is rich in nutrients and only a few types of trees. Warm, wet summers and cold, wet winters. Soil that is rich in nutrients and only a few types of trees. Would that be A, a temperate deciduous forest, B, tropical rainforest, or C, prairie grassland? That would be a temperate deciduous forest because it only has a few types of tree and the soil is rich in nutrients. So yeah, in the IXL that you're gonna do, it's gonna go over specific details like these. Really take note to what it specifies about each one, and should be able to work your way through it. That's it for now. The others, I believe, are pretty straightforward, but these, they're not that familiar. So get familiar with the terminologies above and the definition of them, and you should be good for tomorrow. So again, tundra, long cold winters and short cold summers, mostly small plants, soil that is frozen year round. Prairie grassland, hot summers, cold winters in medium amount of rain, and soil that is rich in nutrients. So think no trees, flatland, and rich in nutrients. A taiga, long cold winters, short cold summers. So winters and summers are cold. Many evergreen trees, and soil that is poor in nutrients. Hot desert, definition of desert, small amount of rain, dry, thin soil. Hot desert has many different types of organisms, and it's hot. I'm gonna skip this real quick. Cold desert, small amount of rain, dry, thin soil, but it has long, cold winters. I'm gonna go back up to tropical rainforest, I believe. Yeah. Tropical rainforest, year-round rain. That's a real takeaway from me. Rains year-round. Warm temperature soil that is poor in nutrients, but many different types of organisms. And then temperate deciduous forests, warm, wet summers, cool, wet winters. Soil is rich in nutrients, only a few types of tree, very limited on the types of trees that they have. Yeah, that's it for now. Thank you for your time, and you guys have a great day.